Hello, Flat Earth researchers, debaters and debunkers. Hope you're having a good start to the weekend. As you can see from the title, I would just like to talk about the idea of models and really how the demands and the distraction created by those demands for models is kind of futile, really. Be great if there's anyone watching that can let me know in the chat whether the sound's coming through. It appears to be working my end. Can't see anything coming up in the chat yet at the moment. Well, I can see that there are 9 people watching at the moment. Hope you're all doing okay, and that I'm streaming using the OBS to do this. So still a novice at this at the moment. Let me just see if I can go to the watch page. And oops. Just give me a while I get this all set up properly. No data, no active stream. Getting mixed messages here. I wonder what we can see going on in the chat. Just a second. Just going to the watch page. Ah, right, okay, I'm seeing the chat now. Just because I'm seeing myself, so not sure why I'm not seeing that in. Okay. Alright, I'm just going to have to watch myself on the watch page and see how it's going. Alright, Mr. Fox is in the house. Dave Marsh, hi, how's it going? Noel, Stoned Roses, Whale of Belief, hi Nick, all clear now. Great, okay. Greg Stewart, sound working here. Thank you very much for that. Okay, yeah, sorry about that. As I said, I'm still a novice at using the OBS here. I would love to be interacting with some kind of hangout or something. Maybe that will come at a later date. Marian Jensen, hi, greetings from Amsterdam, the Netherlands. Great. Okay, I'm doing some writing about the Netherlands at the moment. That's it's quite interesting to learn about all the things you can do there. And Vlad on Flat Earth, hey, greetings from PA, USA. All right, nice one. Yeah, I'm afraid slow mode is on for the chat. There's should be just a 10. I set the delay for 10 seconds, and any obscene comments will be temporarily blocked. Good times for all. All right, how's the farm going, man? How's all the organic produce going? Great to see you getting it going there. Do check out Good Times for All and see what he's doing. He's really making the effort to be an independent farmer on his land there. That's great. Good morning from the Pacific coast of Canada. All right. Nice one. Okay. Yeah, chat does seem to be a bit slow. So Yeah, apologies for that. Let me just read back the description here, really. The flat earth is simply a realization of the way things are, which allows us to refocus without the distraction and demands for models and debate. Intelligent design is obvious, discovering our purpose and waking up to the true nature of the universe and the journey of discovery and the infinite experiences to be had along the way. The globe and evolution are an artificial objective construct, as far as I'm concerned. The truth is that this is a subjective experience to be had by all of us as individuals. Hi, Brandon, Jerome, thank you. Uh, okay, yeah, go hit up Good Times for All. That's right. Nice one. Dupe, hi. All right, nice one. Another tuning in from Amsterdam. Uh, you know, uh, High individual perspective. All right. Yeah, this is it really. The way I see it is, let me just blab for a minute and I'll try to catch up with the chats. But the way I see it is of course, just by looking up at the sky, these interpretations have been made with all the different models that we could make. The heliocentric model, the Copernican model, of course, is the one that we've been given. And because they put the sun at the center and, in my opinion, created the Gregorian calendar alongside that, then this has just been the way to tell the time. And it works in of itself in order to have communication across various countries. But that doesn't mean it's our physical reality, but of course it's being passed off as that. Over here in Thailand, for example, they still use the lunar calendar. It works perfectly fine. You get annual cycles, and the seasons and the seasonal changes and everything are much more aligned with the moon than they are with the sun. It all works fine, and but you don't have to assume that the Earth is going around the moon. It is simply a clock. We have this cosmic clock, and these observations and predictions can be interpreted in a multitude of ways, and that is really all it is. And to me, what we realize is that, of course, we're on a stationary level plane as far as we can tell, but looking up at the luminaries and seeing it for what it is tells us that we are in a subjective experience. It simply tells us that. So any demands for an objective model for us all to adhere to are ridiculous. They are a distraction. So debate about the physical nature of what lies beyond the Earth, up there in the sky, where it is obvious that we can't get to. We're not supposed to be able to get there, I assume, at this stage. Tells us that really we should be focusing on the way we interact with each other, the way we lead our lives, the journey, the experiences that we have along the way, not the destination, not the idea that we should be getting to somewhere and ignoring everything that goes on along the way. The whole point is to be focused on the now and every interaction that we have with ourselves and each other. And it is taking that first step, the interaction that we have with ourselves, that is the most important step to take, because it's so easy to point the finger and believe that someone offends you or isn't just in your eyes or isn't right. But any emotion that we have related to how we feel about other people is our own doing, is our choice. And it's not until we take those first steps in observing ourself, our own behaviors, our own reactions, our own egos, our own beliefs, that we can really start to make progress and evolve as individuals predominantly, and as a collective of individuals. But of course, the whole globe construct, this material world that we're born into, and this objective, standardized reality, artificial reality that we're given, is the distraction from that. The TV, the media, the politics, the whole shebang, everything, the whole thing, everything that goes with globalization hides us from the truth. So perpetuating debates and arguments and so forth, or trying to bring about a definitive model, is futile, because, as I said, the universe, the earth, the observations we make of nature, of ourselves, tell us everything we need to know. The truth is right there, in front of our eyes and inside of us. It's not going to be arrived at by arguing with people or trying to define a model. And so you'll see the people that take that path. And there's a difference. Let me just have a look at the chat, see what kind of reaction my rant has created. All right. Okay, thanks, Greg, for the agreement there. Okay. Good times. Lost the plot once again. Heading across country to help someone, friends in Denver, fix up their house to sell them. Lost the plot as in you lost the plot of land? Oh, man. Okay, so the farm will start back up early next year. Ah, okay. Well, one door closes, another door opens. Hopefully that's a positive step. Okay, Sergey, sorry, your message has been held. Individual perspective. Okay, you're talking to Good Times. Ryan, hi. The sky objects are clockwork and designed to show us when to prepare for the changes in this place. They even reset their positions in the sky occasionally. Yeah, okay, yeah. Of course, watching the stars and everything is obviously, we know it's important. We know it is very significant. And, you know, astrology and astronomy are clearly intrinsic to our being here. But of course, you know, astrology has been relegated to the funnies in the newspapers. But I'm sure the elite use it to their advantage. Greg Stewart nicely said, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Yes, definitely true. And I was interesting. I was talking to someone today who, like many, see the flat Earth as something that's so vastly different, so far away, so opposite, so completely, you know, the difference between black and white for someone who hasn't even taken that step. And yeah, when you look back, you do have to take that first step of of again looking at our own beliefs, our own how we have come to believe certain things and become attached to certain things. And yeah, you're absolutely right. It's not until you take those first steps that we start to see, and it is a long process. This can take decades. So the sooner we get on that path and start taking those steps, the better. Okay. Glad the sun's shining with you, individual perspective. Andy, 123, school and councils and government. Okay. Part of the control mechanism, I suppose. Yeah, Ryan Q. I would say the same. He's having the life lessons that are possibly more than he deserves. But it's funny, isn't it? Things do seem to happen for a reason, and it's often very difficult to see the reason for those things. But synchronicity does occur when we allow it to. I know we can fret too much about all the things that we perceive as the things that we should worry about. But ultimately, we're all still here, right? We've survived however many years it is that we've been on this earth through instinct, through deliberation, through action, right or wrong, if there is such a thing. We're here. And we've gathered experience, and we've maybe got a few lines on the forehead and missing a few teeth, from things that have happened on the way. But so what? It's all part of the experience. And personally, I wouldn't change it for whatever money anyone wanted to give. It's not about money, because the more you have, the more you have to lose. And boy, have I seen people suffer when they have money. Yeah. Tony T. Where am I? Why do I feel this way? Who are you? Yeah. Yeah. Cool Pics. Hi. Good to see you. Yeah, Greg says the standardization opposes inquiry and discovery of ourselves. Yes. And I really believe that Newton, if he ever existed, this is his whole thing. This was the agenda. Standardization. The standardization of the currency, the gold standard. And of course, that is what the heliocentric model and the globe is. It is a standardization of our lives. And it crushes individualism. It crushes creativity. It is 1984 in a global matrix. Yeah? Of course, there are millions and billions of people living in the system, but doing their own thing. There are people who decide they want to go and surf in cold water while it's snowing. Or there are people that want to skydive or tightrope or do acrobatics or do crazy, life-threatening things, and they are living life to the full because in those moments of following their passion, they are not distracted by all the other rubbish and garbage that we are usually distracted by. They are being the creator. They are in the moment. But of course, the moment you are out of the zone and back into what we would call reality, but is really just this artificial construct created for us. The suffering, the suffering that we experience through the emotions and the ego that governs most of our existence is that's what we might call reality. But personally, that's the mission. The mission is to be aware, simply to be aware, simply observing. This is all we have to do. It's so simple. It is actually really, really simple. And we actually don't have to be so serious about it. It's funny because we can just watch the person carry out their role, and then we can observe the observer within us, and then we're detached, then we're free. We don't have to be militant about it. We don't have to be desperate to convert everyone else, because everyone does it in their own time. But of course, it's a shame to see people trapped in circumstances which give them high blood pressure and what have you. And we just want to set them free. Let me just go back through. Okay, thanks, individual perspective. Exheliocentric, hi. Sergey, sorry, your message keeps getting held. Sorry about that. Whoa, the chat's I'm way behind on the chat now. Midnight Gardener, hi. Vlad says, I would love to see cowardly faces of people who thumb this chat down. Sad bunch of truth haters who are obsessed with FE truth. FPV Angel, cartoons are not much of a description. Science Guy. Oh, is someone called Science Guy? Orbs Realm, hi, good to see you, man. We will chat sometime soon. Oh, the scientist, in my opinion, and in the opinion of all this. Oh, please. The scientist. I try to give you the time of day. I try to understand where you're coming from. But no, when you say something like all scientists, you're lying. You're lying to yourself and you're lying to us, because you haven't personally asked all scientists, and not all scientists are focused on the shape of the Earth or the Earth's place in space. Of course, it is considered mainstream science, and I hear it again. I hear it from Globe Earth defenders that well, most people, or 99% of people, etc. No, I'm sorry, but that's wrong. When you're very focused on defending any particular model, then that isn't, you're not being truthful. Just because the majority of people appear to believe something, and this is simply because of media and the education system. I mean, we all know what we've been taught. There is nothing smart or extra specially intelligent about knowing that we're supposed to be on a globe, or knowing how it's all supposed to work. Can't help but know these things because that's what we've been constantly told. I actually find it quite amusing that the flat earther is often accused of, oh, you think you have special knowledge and you think you're superior. When in fact, no, that's the opposite. It's a realization that we know nothing. We do not know anything. Yet we believe an awful lot of things. However, the people making those accusations that think the flat earther is on some kind of pedestal actually holds the belief that we are at the pinnacle of evolution and that we have somehow gained this knowledge and ability to perceive ourselves on a spinning globe because we're smart, and we're smart enough to think beyond the observations that we can make on the earth and see ourselves as being on a globe. It may appear to be smart and intelligent to be able to think like that, because it does go against all natural observations and instincts, and we might feel proud to be able to not think of ourselves as special and think of ourselves as a little speck on one of many millions of other globes in the universe. And we might think that we're being pragmatic to believe that, oh, it's just part of the process of evolution. And for the most part, these globe-depending zealots are nice people, good people with good intentions, because the intention is to, but that goodwill is misdirected. You know, your effort and your dreams and your desires to do good are diverted to an imaginary future where we are told to imagine that what we do now with space exploration, going to Mars and all this stuff, is for future generations. And of course, any parent has this intrinsic desire to do whatever they can for their children, to sacrifice and contribute to the future generation. This is a natural instinct, but to have that natural instinct diverted up there to the stars and beyond, to have us believe that one day we might live on some rocky outcrop, some barren desert called Mars, is a complete distraction from the now. It completely distracts us from the most important things that are going on now. The interactions we have here and now with everyone else. Yeah? So I understand the goodwill and the good intention from wanting to advance and evolve, but to be consumed with this idea that we have to get off this rock is actually like someone making a mess and being too lazy to clean it up, because that's what we're actually being encouraged to do. Oh, we're messing up this place, we're polluting this place, everything's so messed up, the politics, the wars, the everything is so messed up, we just, oh dear, well, let's just leave it behind and look towards a brighter future. Now, it's the here and now that we have to deal with. Right, let's catch up with the chat. Steve HB, hi man. The scientist really doesn't require description and rhetorical devices. It is reality, then it can be scaled down and shown practically. Yeah, it should be scalable. Absolutely, yeah. Zeus Scott, hi. Midnight Gardener, all right. Carolyn, wonderful comment that you left under one of my recent video. If you got time, go and read Carolyn's comment. It's brilliant. Loved it. It just summed everything up. So thank you for that, Carolyn. It's really nice to be able to provide the platform for you to just splurge your your thoughts over your tea. So that was lovely. I don't know what's happened to the stream now. Oh, wow, wow. Okay, the chat's gone way down. Flat Earth Bear, hi. Good to see you, man. Zenith, ABC, Deadlock. This is the dream, and when we go to sleep, we wake up. Leroy Foster, the most optimistic man I heard of was Hitler when he invaded Russia. Okay. Flat Earth Bear. Okay, alright. Yes, oh, hi TMF. Why can't we remember ourselves as we were before we were born in this life, the beginning of something for the afterlife? Is it a test? Yeah, it's a question that we probably all ask ourselves, isn't it? You know, what's the point? Why are we here? Are we going through stages of a spirit evolving, or are we just living out this one experience here? It's difficult to say, isn't it? Really can't tell. But I know someone like Orb's Realm. If you go and check out his videos, then you'll see that he has a connection with another dimension. You have entities coming and going, orbs, and so there obviously is, whether it's correct to call it an afterlife, I really wouldn't know, but there obviously is this interaction with another dimension or other dimensions. So if you're not sub to Orb's Realm, please go and do that, and you'll see some amazing things on his videos. And I suppose it's because of the near-death experience that you had, that I remember you telling the story of at one time. Yeah, Brendan. Sorry, yes, of course, yeah, no, it's Brendan. Orb's Realm, Brendan. Okay, so go check him out. Yeah. Let's have a look. Alright, going back down in the chat now. It's all interacting rather slowly. Flat enough. Hey. Then we are here to make the world better. Sounds like a New Age banner, doesn't it? Who knows? Maybe it just is. Maybe this is just the way it is, and again, it's an individual journey. The good, the bad, the ugly. It's difficult to say whether there is a continual improvement, or you know, I don't have a belief there really. It's an open question as far as I'm concerned. Hi, Tony Dixon. Tin Soldier. You skipped over the persecution of the scumbag Jews. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, they're coming in. Flat enough. Define better. There is the sophistry trick I used. I sipped better in. Okay. Better. Not as bad as it could be. Leroy Foster, I do not think we will make the world better, maybe more transparent by upsetting the status quo. Yeah, I think transparency is quite, we certainly should be aiming to achieve that, should we not? This transparency and honesty with ourselves and with each other, because right now we're just being so confused and distracted with deception, deceit, dishonesty. It's all around us, and yeah. So I'd like to think that would be a good goal. Transparency. Again, just this act of observing ourselves and the way we interact with each other, We wouldn't need legal systems in place. We wouldn't need things like insurance. We wouldn't need all these things which the system provides for us and we become dependent upon if we were able to be this community. We see it all the time. We see when we see acts of charity all the time, despite the system. When we see people in need, when we see wrong, when we see, imagine if everyone was given the ability to see with transparency the reasons for going to war, then there would be no wars. There would be disagreements and debate, maybe, but ultimately, if we were allowed as a collective to really, truly, democratically make decisions for as a group that was able to hear each other out, then we wouldn't be led by these psychopathic leaders into be killing and being killed. Lucas, hi from Sweden. Nice, yeah, we've got people from all over the plane. It's lovely. TMF, I'm in a relationship where the lies are just abundant. I'm ready to walk the earth alone again. Oh man. Yeah, how do you resolve something like that? I mean, yeah, sometimes walking away. If there's no harm in walking away from something if you know that you're not responsible for someone else's pain. If they are suffering because their desires and their wishes to change you or for you to be a particular person, then, well, that's up to them. And change is inevitable. Just look at how things have changed or do change constantly in this so-called flat earth community or movement. Yeah, it's constant flux. Tracy Storia, it's a tangled web of lies to unravel. It certainly is. But it is very simple. It really is very simple. Ultimately, yeah, of course, you're absolutely right. I mean, it is really tangled, and it is like unraveling this big knot. But then when you get to those last pieces, it's like, bloop, it just all unravels very easily. And it's so easy to see that it's just a piece of string. Leroy, the internet, I think, brings us closer to no war, which is why it is going to be passing phase and soon controlled. Yeah, I mean, obviously, the tech is great. It's great to have this tech to interact, but there is no replacement for those real interactions, is there? And it is really nice to, after a few years of this, to have met some of the individuals, and it's really great. So it is happening. It is it's working. It is part of this evolution, I suppose. Yeah. So yeah, don't let people tell you that you learn stuff on YouTube and that's a bad thing. I mean, it's amazing. Not just YouTube, but the internet in general, the way we can share information, fantastic. In fact, I remember when I was working in France back in the 1990s, they had a form of internet then, I remember working at a hotel, and when they wanted to find out information about, there was this directory you could look online. They had a little green monitor in the corner and the keyboard, and it was a database of the online database of like a Yellow Pages, but online. So yeah, the French telecom system was very well advanced compared to the British one, I remember at the time. So they had internet in that form. That was early internet for them, and obviously it gradually developed. Kevin Balfour, I think transparency would also trigger a lot of people. Yeah, it does. It does trigger people, but it is a fear thing, isn't it? We get triggered by those subconscious fears. Flat enough, TMF, he says TMF, in a sense, you're already alone. We kind of all are, aren't we? We're kind of alone, but together it's, it's weird like that, isn't it? Frizzle Fry. And Effie. I'm MGTOW. To be honest, I don't know what that means. And FE, call me Billy No Mates. Well, I know what that means. Alexander, hi. Hi from Serbia. Nice one. Not a globe. No, you're right. Tony T. What's the scientist saying? My definition of human, all the 7 billion people out there. Yeah, and where did we all come from? How did it all start? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. For us to be told that we started from slime and evolved, there's no proof of that. It's just an idea. But we don't know. The truth of the matter, Mr. Scientist, is we do not know. Nobody knows. And this is what, of course, drives us to ask these questions. Water. Where does all the water come from? Nobody knows. And even if you want to cling on to the globe Earth belief, there's still a limit. We talk about infinite space. Well, that's just a cop-out. Because there's still a limit. There's still a, where does space end? We still can't really comprehend that. We can't get our heads around it. But of course, in this material world, we have to have the beginning and an end, and so we feel compelled to try and define a beginning and an end, when really we can't. We also can't define eternity either. So this becomes a conundrum. So of course we feel comfort in having these answers if we can assume or feel we've got some kind of start point. And where are we on this timeline? Of course, this is something that we desire, but unfortunately, we have to realise that it's a desire that leads us not to any real answers or any real truth. The truth is that we have to accept that, and we have to then turn our attention back onto ourselves and again, the now. Yeah. I would love to not argue with you. I don't want to convert people like yourself, the scientist, to become a flat earther. All I want people to have is this freedom of not being attached to a particular model or a creation story. Yeah, but of course, personally for me, I push flat Earth because it pushes the envelope to break away from that single-minded globe Earth belief. But flat Earth doesn't mean a disk floating in space. It doesn't mean ice walls. It just means not a spinning globe going around the sun. Yeah? Yeah, explore your world 2019. Buzz Aldrin says because we didn't go there. Yeah, good slip of the tongue there. Yeah, good point, Steve H. V, how do you know there's 7 billion people? Yeah, it's just a number we're given. Brandon, notice the sign that doesn't address the fact we are individuals. He jumps directly into this. We are one of many. Society need you to be what you are told. Group thought. Yeah, it's a bit of a shame, you know, we've this and we've known this and no, get away from that. No, do not jump into that hive mind mentality. Yeah. Because there, you know, but it's also we should not. I think we should also not be doing this them and us thing, because the them is us. It is, you know, the them that we are often fighting with or competing with are just manifestations of us, the human condition. So it's not them and us, it's us. It's just us. And, you know, all the infinite possibilities that being us can be. It's quite funny, really. It's laughable. It is a game. Yeah. Zenith, question for you, Phuket. People will say, oh, it's the Mandela effect, as though that is an explanation, but have you had something alter on you that you know 100% wasn't that way the day before? Yeah, Mandela effect. I looked into it a little bit. It doesn't really, you know, I'm not that fast. I noticed that often the examples that are brought up are kind of weird spellings of authors of books and things that yeah, really we cannot say for sure that they changed or were anything different to what they are. It's and of course it is always subjective, isn't it? All the experiences that we have are very subjective, and you know, I remember talking to my father in later years about certain things that happened when I was a kid, and of course for me as a kid I remembered that experience vividly, but to him he's like, oh, I don't remember that, because even though we were in the same situation, we were having a different subjective experience, even though objectively we were both there. And so that in itself was a realization, you know, and I see that with my kids. I have to try and remember that, you know, when I say or do things with my kids, or if I ignore my kids, or I get angry with my kids, or whatever it is, they're having a totally different experience to the one I'm having, and the one I think, and the experience I think they're having. Yeah? It's very difficult to be in someone else's shoes, isn't it? You know. Slide 2, hi. I wonder what the end game is for the powers that be and what their plans are for the artificial intelligence. Screw them. Don't worry about it. Don't concern yourself with it. Artificial intelligence has nothing on the human spirit. Nothing. Can't compete. You know, it's like the Thais are really good at copying. I could be wearing a watch that would look just like a Rolex watch, but will it function the same as a Rolex watch? No way. Won't last 5 minutes. Yeah, because it isn't the same. So artificial intelligence can copy. It will never be be the creator that we are as individuals. No way, it can't be. Don't worry about it. It's distraction. Flat enough, I do not even remember if I should be remembering something or not. This whole cosmology thing is very elusive. Yeah, sorry, I'm just going to spark up a... Flat enough says, I object, I propose simulated intelligence as the term. You mean in place of artificial intelligence, simulated intelligence? Oh, yeah, okay. Explore your world. Stars are not other suns like our soul. Think of them as lights fixed in the ceiling. Yeah. Tin Soldier, I remember something I forgot. Flat enough, I maintain it is not real intelligence. Yes, not AI. Okay, yeah, cool. Yeah, I like that. You know, yeah. Why should we use these terms that are given to us? Great. Yeah. Leroy Foster says artificial intelligence is being pushed, but they have not discovered AI. They are still programming the damn thing. Yeah, but come on. I mean, we've all had this experience, right, where you might be thinking of someone and you get a phone call from them, or this interaction comes about. It's like those connections are already there. I mean, you know, our energy. Once we've made those connections with people and events, you know, they're everlasting. It's vibrational. It's frequencies, and I don't think anything can really truly interfere with the frequencies that we have. If I can just go off on one a little bit about the way things are done here. When, for example, someone has a new house, they get married, or they open up a business, or whatever it might be, what happens is the monks come around, and this is a great example of the way a society can work. You see, monks are basically given a free ride. They get, literally, they get a free ride on public transport. And what happens is the monks do their alms rounds in the mornings, and people donate food in the mornings. So the monks are always kept fed, and everything is centered on the temple. Let me just read what Flatner says before I frequent nerd blogs and sites, and they genuinely believe that man makes artificial lives like bacteria. Yeah, we can't, They've totally gone off. Sorry. You know, in this way, there's this, there's the layman, and of course, you know, the monk might well be celibate and focus on spiritual development, etc. But there's, you know, they don't expect everyone to be a monk. They realize that everyone has their path. And there might be a time when you're a monk, and there might be a time when you're a layman or a layperson, but you can always employ these Buddhist principles in your actions and your thinking and all that. So, so what happens is if you, like I said, you open a business, you move into a new house or something, or even if you're going to, let's say you buy some land and you're going to develop that land, the very first thing you would do is to have a ceremony in which basically you are asking permission and you're being graceful about You're letting the universe know that you have a plan to build here, and you want to do it in the right way, and you basically ask for permission. And by having a ceremony, and so the monks will come, and there's this process of giving, so there's this humbling, and a shrine might be created. And when the monks come, they'll come in the morning, and of course the monks will get fed by the hosts. But before the monks eat, they do this chanting. And I've been to a few of these. It's just, if you spend any time in a Buddhist culture, then you will end up going to, whether it's a wedding or like I said, an opening event or something. And so you sit there, and I think you don't have to sit there all the time. People come and go, they get up, they do their things, and you're not expected to sit rigidly like that. If circumstance demands that you have to get up and do something, then fine, and you return. It's not like you're frozen to the pew like you are in church, and all heads turn when you have to get up and leave. They just come and go. So the monks chant, and they do their ceremony with the candles, the water, and everything, and the chanting goes on and on and on, and it obviously it's in Sanskrit, and it creates this vibration, and when you get absorbed in this vibration, you really do feel that the place is being locked down by this vibration. And as long as everything is done to preserve the intention, then that vibration will stay there. And this isn't just some whimsical spiritual thing. This is the reality of the universe that we live in, that is governed by frequencies. And so when chanting is done to create these frequencies, then the place is locked down, and it is guarded against, not necessarily against evil spirits, but negative frequencies. Hi Dave, Hinkle, hang on, UK amateurs, hi. Do you think a person should believe what they want? No, we should be free of belief. This is the whole thing. We should not believe anything. Belief is the whole problem here. We have to realize the difference between knowledge and belief, and we have to detach from all beliefs and realize that there are certain things that are intrinsic knowledge that we have inside of us, and we can gain from simply observing nature. But there's also so much we don't know, and we can never know. And this is how this whole thing started. What I'm talking about here, looking at the sun, moon, and stars, tells us there is a limit to what we can know. It can be interpreted in so many different ways that any single-minded interpretation becomes a belief, and that is wrong, to believe that it is a particular way, unless we really do gain some true knowledge about the way things are. So no, we shouldn't believe anything. And this is the problem. We believe that we live on a spinning ball, which is beyond belief. It is ridiculous. It is insane. And the only reason that we believe this is because we have this Copernican heliocentric model with the decision to put the sun at the center and have the earth going around the sun. And the only reason that the earth is a sphere in that case is because that's the only way you can justify day and night. when you decide to have the Earth as another planet going around the Sun. Because if it remains a level plane with the idea that you're going around the Sun, then of course you're always going to be facing the Sun. So the globe is just an essential element of the heliocentric model, which is nothing more than an interpretation, an illustration of the passage of time created artificially from these observations of the luminaries, whatever they are. And as I said, it's okay to have that as a time-keeping mechanism, just as we have a clock on the wall that is a circle. That's fine to tell the time. And for me to say it's, it's 1 a.m. now here for me, and whatever time it is for someone else somewhere else, that's fine. But there's probably somewhere on this earth where it's midday right now, but the sun is not at its zenith. And that means that it's not truly in sync with where the sun is. So the heliocentric model and the Gregorian calendar is wrong anyway. Again, it works as a standardized way of telling time and communicating. You could say it's essential for global communication, trade, whatever. Fine. Sure, aircraft have to leave at a certain time. But that's it. It doesn't mean that we live on a bloody globe. Multi-Tom says, Nick, there are also other bodies in the sky. They're not telling us. Quite possibly, yeah. Sorry, I'm losing track of the chat there. Zlatnov says, knowledge comes when the opinion stage is seen for what it is. Yeah. Andy123, watch is always horizontal. Yeah. Tin Soldier, thank you. The scientist, you believe you live on a flat Earth. What is better? No. The natural physics shows us that the Earth is not moving. And it's, as I said, I've already tried to explain, flat Earth doesn't mean that it's flat, but it just means that it's not a spinning ball. Yeah? Now, I personally, I've done the experiments that I felt necessary to check whether, flying and seeing whether there was any way I could, flying 10,000 kilometers from here in Thailand near the equator up to the UK. And I've done it several times, and I have tried to see if there is any way that we can detect any change in the orientation or curvature. There is none. None. And all these people with their channels trying to defend the globe, what do? They do hit pieces and they lie. Yeah? Why? Why can't they just come up with the proof? Because there is none. Yeah? So, we all understand it's difficult. I've actually collected a lot of data recently. There was an experiment done. It was called the gnome experiment, in which they sent this gnome and some scales to different locations on the Earth to measure the difference in gravity. And yes, there is a difference on the equator. Things weigh less on the equator than they do in the north and in the south. There is a difference in what you could call local gravity. But I can assure you, it is nothing to do with the Earth being a sphere or rotating. It is simply air pressure. It is simply relative density. That's all it is. I've got the figures to prove it. I've done the research. The video's coming soon. Yeah? And it yeah? We're not on a globe. So it's not belief. No, it's not belief that we live on a flat Earth. It's just a term that's used to say we're not on a spinning globe. Steve H. HV. People believe they live on a globe because they don't understand how the eye works and how the eye perceives it. Yeah, I know. It's so simple, isn't it? You know, perspective is the imaginary curve. We're told we're looking into a bulge or looking down a curve. No, it's just the way perspective works. Excuse me. I had a surveyor try to tell me that on a flat Earth there would be no horizons. Insane. Fat Enough says the shape and dimensions of the objective world are no subject of belief and opinion. That's right. This is it. It's not. None of us wanted to become flat earthers. You know, it was a traumatic experience to admit that you'd believed a lie. But you know, again, we don't have to blame. You don't have to blame the people that have apparently lied to us, because, as I said, it's just us. It's just these people are manifestations of us. And, of course, it makes sense to the mathematician and in terms of geometry. But again, the geometry of perspective, angular size, the way we see it's, you know, angular size is the geometry of perspective. It's all ratios and degrees. And that is converted, our subjective observations are converted into an objective artificial reality, which is the imaginary curve. It is so simple. It's really simple. But as someone said earlier on, it's like a knot that you have to unravel. But the most difficult thing to accept about all this is the realization and the submission to that realization that we allowed ourselves to be fooled, or we fooled ourselves. And yeah, we can blame the education system for giving us globes in the classroom and all that stuff, but we knew when we were kids, we found it funny to poke at the globe because it was a ridiculous idea, but we gradually became accustomed to it. But, you know, yes, it sounds ridiculous, but as discerning adults, we can also realize that nobody has the answers. Nobody has the answers to the creation story. Nobody has the answers as to why we're here. But as long as we are asking the questions, as long as we are demanding of ourselves that we test ourselves, then that's enough. As long as we are observing, as long as we're asking the questions, that's good enough. Because then we'll make progress, whatever that progress means. But if we refuse, point blank, to even start to ask those questions, then we are fooling ourselves and we are deceiving ourselves. And that's a crime. That's the crime. There's no point in blaming other people for committing crimes against us. We all have the ability to make choices. And decide whether we're going to carry on deceiving ourselves or not. I'm deceiving myself right now, thinking that I need a cigarette and I need coffee. Gideon, we are being observed. It's all observation. Yeah. Maggie, mute your sound to stop weird echo. Apologies for that. I'm not sure why that's happening. Oh, I'm just flicking to another page now, just to see. Yeah, I'm muted. I'm not sure why that's happening. Oh, okay, Brendan, you have to go. Nice one, thank you. Okay, take care, my man. Tony Dixon, the supposed globe tilt of 23.4 degrees is just an angle of perspective. Yes. Yeah. The 24 degrees. It's interesting. I was kind of arguing with it is this difference that surveyors use when they align things with eye level. There is actually a difference of 24 degrees. Yeah, I was just trying to explain to this surveyor, all you've got to do is close the gap of 24 degrees. They realize in their work that there's a 24 degree gap. That gap is perspective. The 24 degrees is the lower half of what we see as the Earth, the surface rises up and ramps up to our eye level. That's the 24 degrees. So combined, it creates a triangle of 48 degrees. Yeah, with you've got eye level. So you've got our. How can I do this? We have our expanding field of view. Yeah, but at the same time as the expanding field of view, we also have a narrowing of perspective. Yeah. Of course, in 2D you represent this as triangles, but in reality it's three-dimensional, or it's geometry. It's a tunnel of perspective. But when you represent it on paper, it's so we got the widening angle of field of view, which is the same as it's about the same as a camera lens, a 50mm camera lens. Yeah. So you've got that widening field of view like that, but at the same time you have this narrowing of perspective. And so what you actually get, the angles that you get are, if you split that triangle of perspective down the middle with your eye level, you have 24 degrees either side of eye level, so you've got 48 degrees, and then I believe what you have left is 66.6 degrees. In total, which creates the total 180 degrees of the triangle. Yeah, and that's the thing. The triangles, the circles, and even rectangles. They all use angles, 180 degrees or 360 degrees. Yeah. So this is the thing. It is mathematics, but it's a manipulation of mathematics. Nothing changes. It is simply the geometry of perspective in the observations that we make that is converted into this imaginary curve of the Earth. And the 24 degrees is cut out of the equation. Because the surface, the sky is transparent, but the surface is solid. So we forget that actually perspective is coming up from the surface to meet in the middle. Oh, fair enough. Let me just show your comment there. Fair enough. Pick it word. In less than a month is the golden anniversary of men walking on the moon. Bullshit. Oh my God, yeah. And so this is it. Some people haven't even got to that stage where they were. I mean, oh God, But the thing is, these are the kind of people that don't even the mainstream media is letting people know that the moon landings were fake. But they won't listen. They don't want to know. Neil Armstrong, as good as he basically said it in as many words as he could. Layers of truth to be unravelled, or whatever he said. People don't want to listen. Oh, great. Okay, thank you, Carolyn. Glad that kind of made sense. Yeah, it's very difficult to kind of put it into, videos. You end up spending ages doing the lines and things, but yeah, you end up with this pyramid, yeah? So perspective field of view goes out and then in. So you get this diamond shape, yeah? And it's all ratios and degrees. So 360 degrees of a circle, you get a semicircle, horizon to horizon, 180 degrees. A triangle has 180 degrees. A square has 90, 90, 90, 90. Yeah, 360 degrees. And of course, that's what they do on the maps. They put these, they put the triangles and the squares and everything on the maps. And they make a circle out of it. Fine enough doubt to come clean, yeah. Sergey, is it worth making sun trackings? It's been done, and frankly, again, nothing changes. Nothing changes. Yeah. So again, it is the angles don't change. Don't worry about it. They don't change. It's just a matter of interpretation. Just that realization that the angles that we see are simply perspective, not curvature. It's as simple as that. It's a mirror, a flip. That's all it is. They've done the math for us. You don't have to worry about doing the math again. It works fine. Yeah. It's the same with Polaris, yeah? It's exactly the same with Polaris. Whether it's actually above the North Pole. I mentioned this in my last live stream, but no one's actually been to the North Pole. The North Pole is in the middle of water. It's just an assumed pole of inaccessibility. Hi, David Marks. Yeah? No one's actually been there. It's just deep, deep ocean as far as they can go from land. It's to the point of no return. No one's been there. No one's been to the North Pole. If it even exists. It's ludicrous. The whole thing, the longitude, latitude lines, time zones, this all just made up stuff. Doesn't mean a thing. Evolution is scientific fact. No one's been to Phuket. I haven't been there, so nobody has. Whatever. Sorry, I'm just looking at the chat just to see. Right, yeah, Beyond Belief is asking UK amateurs, do you understand the difference between theoretical and applied mathematics? Yeah, again, Euclidean geometry, at the very least, UK amateurs, he says time zones are real. Oh, God. No, they're not. They're not. Where do you start? They're not real. You had to have a start and the international date line. You think that you cross a certain point between Russia and America, you suddenly change days and dates? It's just done for economical purposes. Again, as I said, time zones are a necessary construct for trade, for international trade, whatever. It's helpful, it's useful, but it doesn't mean a thing. They could be anywhere. And if you just do your research, just look at it. It's a political thing. The Greenwich Mean Time. They had to decide on a start and stop point. Why? It's not because the sun starts anywhere in particular. It was just, and they had political debates over it for a long time. Yeah, it's again, you just have they had to have a start, and just like midday is considered whatever the start point for the clock. If you're going to keep time, then you have to have that. But understandably, it's very difficult to accept that the sun is doing one thing, the moon is doing another thing, and the stars are doing another thing, and the earth is doing nothing. They're all just doing their separate things. It is very difficult to detach from that, I know. Yeah. I had trouble myself, but eventually you get it. It does take effort. You do have to try. So Sergey asking again, I think I said no, it's not really worth doing sun tracking. Nothing changes. Mike Burns, complete word salad. Really sad. Really? What have you got? What have you got? I tell you what, Mike, if you're directing that at me, ask yourself, what do you really know? What do you know about the origins of your own life, human life, all the other life on this earth, the earth itself? What do you actually know? Where does all the water come from? What are the stars? What is the sun? Where does it come from? Nobody knows. Tony Dixon says the luminaries are definitely an intelligently designed clock in the sky for nature. The sun telling the days, the moon telling the months, and the stars telling the years. Nature knows. Yeah. I mean, obviously, it's obviously intelligent design, and has a purpose. And I would like to think that there is something quite significant about the stars that relates to us as individuals. But again, it is beyond what we can know, but obviously it's something that's studied over the years, over the millennia, that makes a lot of sense to those people that study it. Carolyn Gutman, the Globe Defender's word salad is one piece of wilted lettuce with a fake cherry tomato on top. Yeah. Bobby Zines, I've been wondering where heat comes from. I don't think it is all from the sun. Yeah, well, you're welcome to come to Phuket and experience the blazing sun here. It gets pretty hot. HEA art, and everything spins like a wheel. Caught Jupiter's moons doing the same. Well, Jupiter's moons, what are they really? Are they just other stars? And so what if those things are orbiting Jupiter? Doesn't mean that Earth is a planet. Doesn't mean that we're doing the same thing. Yeah, understand that it would appear to be a logical conclusion that the Earth is another planet. But again, it's just try to break away from that programming. It is really difficult because it's been put in our heads since we were kids. We've all done the paper mache planets and stuck them on the ceilings. And I was actually thinking today that, do the planets actually go around the sun? Can anyone look at Jupiter, Mars, Venus, and actually say that we know that those planets go around the sun? Whatever model you might want to perceive, I certainly can't determine that they go around the sun. And I'm wondering if anyone actually can decipher that other planets are going around the sun? I'd say it would be a very difficult thing to actually prove. Kevin Balfour, I think time was designed to age you quickly. If you don't follow time, you don't get aged quick, in my opinion. Very true, yeah, because that is, stress, lack of sleep, stress kills us. It will kill you if you worry about time. Things happen when they're supposed to. It's funny, I've got a friend his sister is waiting for the first baby, and of course the doctors say, we think your baby's going to be a week late. No, it's not. There's no late when a baby decides to come. It comes when it's time to come. And there's only one way out. There's no such thing as late. Of course, people get stressed about it, but that's their thing. That's one thing I've learned about the Thais, is they're very graceful about that. You can't take the piss, but they have this understanding that if someone's late, it is kind of meant to be. There's nothing they can do about it. There's no point in getting stressed, and there's no point in getting angry at someone who's late. It's just the way things are. It's just the way the universe has decided to work things out. And there's usually a reason. Someone being late might have prevented them from getting killed, or it might have helped save someone's life on the way. We can't know. Sorry, there was a few questions. Looking at the chat again. Multi-tom-tom? Nick, they will say transit of the sun, but there are other bodies out there. Yeah, I mean, there seem to be, don't there? Yeah. Again, the Thais or Vedic astronomy doesn't consider eclipses to be the moon. They are adamant that it's another body, Rahu, and it has an opposing node as well. And I've tried although, and this leads me to suspect actually that the phases of the moon are possibly created by the shadow of another body. I don't know, it's just an idea, because when you have a solar eclipse, and I've seen quite a few here in Thailand, you look for the ridges that you would see on the moon, and they're not there. And they should be very clearly defined if the moon is passing in front of the sun. I have a notion that actually the moon is behind the sun, or maybe they interchange. Maybe at some points the moon is closer, or sometimes the sun is closer. But I suspect, and Vedic astronomy would have us believe, that there's another body that passes in front of the sun. That it's not the moon. Yeah? They call it Rahu. It's not the moon. Again, I don't know. It's just an idea. And this kind of seems to make sense to me in a way that, the new moon phase, well, maybe it's just going behind the sun. We can't see the moon because it's behind the sun. Yeah? I don't know. I honestly don't know. It's just an idea. But at least it's nice to be free to think like that. Yeah? But again, ultimately, it's a clock. And does it matter whether we really determine the distance or the positions of the sun, moon, and stars? Again, to me, of course, in the first months and years of looking into all this, then it seemed to be quite an important thing to redefine a model, to have a model that was able to replace the heliocentric model. You know, of course, this is the demand that we're given. Oh, well, if you're going to deny the globe, you have to have a replacement. No, you don't. You just accept eventually that, you know, it's impossible to measure the distance to the sun, or even Polaris or something, because we don't even know if Polaris is above what's called the North Pole. We don't know how far away that is. Things like that. We don't know. We do not have these measurements. We do not have this knowledge of the positions, the real positions of the luminaries. So, you know, and again, talking about these poles of inaccessibility in the middle of the ocean or the North Pole. If we can't go there, if we've never been there, and if nobody has ever been there, then how can we have a model? We can't. But so it's futile. There's no point in trying to come up with a model. Yes, it was a very good exercise to go through that, but then you ultimately realise that we can't tell, and perhaps what the sun, moon and stars tell us is that we are not supposed to be able to tell. And when we accept that and realise that is when we can refocus our attention back down to Earth. Oh, Andy, thank you. Yeah, Tom, yes, the helio model is full of guesses. Absolutely, all good as guesswork. The rainbows, Gideon, rainbows on top of rainbows, why with deep purple in them? Yeah. Slide 2, yeah, a quote from Tesla, yeah. Oh, evolution is scientific fact. Why do you say no one's been there? Evolution is, if you're talking about, because, you know what, I'm going to try. Let me see if I can bring this up. I'm going to have a go at doing this with the OBS, yeah? Let's see if I can make this work. Give me a second. Right, I'm just let's bring this in. Right. If your question was about the North Pole, now here we have pole of inaccessibility, and here we go, northern pole of inaccessibility. The northern pole of inaccessibility, sometimes known as the Arctic pole of inaccessibility, or just Arctic pole, is located on the Arctic Ocean pack ice at a distance farthest from any landmass. It lies, blah, 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 1,008 kilometers from the three closest land masses, Ellesmere Island, whatever that is, and Henrietta Island. Now, you just read this and use your discernment, yeah? Until a 2013, this is only a few years ago, review of satellite cartography. Satellites being balloons, okay? The northern pole of inaccessibility was brought to lie in this position. So even until 2013, they didn't know where to say that the North Pole was. So they give it a new position, yeah? From these. But basically, it's as, if you look at this map, it's as far as you can go from land before you get to that point of no return. Now, read on. The first attempt to reach this false northern pole of inaccessibility was made by Sir Hubert Wilkins, who flew by aircraft in 1927. In 1941, the first Soviet expedition using an airplane landed 350 kilometers north of the false northern pole. They didn't even get there, thus actually becoming the first expedition to reach the real pole. Ignoring Soviet results, Sir Wally Herbert claimed to be the first to reach what was then considered to be the northern pole inaccessibility on foot, arriving by dog sled in 1968. Then explorer Jim McNeill claimed in 2006, not very long ago, that Herbert did not quite make the pole and launched his own unsuccessful attempt to reach it. So in 1986, an expedition of Soviet polar scientists led by Dmitry Sparrow reached the pole of inaccessibility by foot during a polar night. As of 2010, 8 years ago, 9 years ago, McNeill said that no one had reached the false northern pole of inaccessibility. Yeah? They are telling you in black and white that no one has been to the North Pole or beyond. And so it goes on. And we've got the oceanic pole of inaccessibility. This is what they call spacecraft symmetry. Yeah? Right here. Of course, this is represented on a globe, but it's just miles from anywhere. People do not go there. Pilots don't go there. Ships don't go there. Yeah? So anyone that tells you they know they're on a globe, even if they're a pilot, is lying because they haven't been all over the Earth. They haven't been to the North Pole. They haven't been to these poles of inaccessibility. And we have these poles of inaccessibility all over the place. Land and in the sea. Yeah? So that's what we mean by doing your research. Yeah? The information is there if you're just going to do your research. Yeah? I'm just reading the chats again. Yeah, Tom, I don't think even the Pacific Ocean is fully explored. Yeah, this is it. This is it. Yeah, So I wouldn't ever claim to know that there's this particular model that exists because no one's ever been there. Yeah. VT, whoever you are, it's a sphere. Yeah, right. Okay, whatever. You're entitled to your opinion. Okay, yeah, going on about the Gleason's map. I mean, it was, again, who knows, or whether, again, the North Pole, it does appear to work in many respects, but it still limits us, doesn't it? It's still, if there was to be any kind of exploration, I think we should go Antarctica, well, whatever. I think it has to be in all directions really, because we again the poles are just a way of giving the globe Earth model a top and a bottom. Again the same as the starting points with the time zones, etc. It's all an artificial construct. So to be able to really say what the true dimensions and the central points are, I think is very difficult. Yeah. So Flat Earth Bear. Oh, okay. You're talking to @Racer. Right. Yeah. Okay. Ishama Eka Yakuzai. Oh hell yeah, I've been to space too. It was awesome. The scientist. No, you do not know that they are the rotation. The poles are the rotation. You don't know that. Greg Stewart. I have noticed amongst some of my friends that they dismiss doing any research and simply state that the Earth must be round because why would anyone lie about it? Implying I am paranoid. Yeah, I know. I mean, at least some people get to that stage where they say, why would they lie? But I do like the analogy that a lot of people do give uh, we know a crime has been committed or a deception has been done, but to presume or assume the motives is something that comes at a later date. We first have to realize that there's been a crime and there is a mystery to be solved. So yeah, to suddenly come up with the answers, why would they lie, is kind of not really possible either. I mean, how can we actually deliver any kind of truthful answer? We've only just found out that we've been lied to. The why is remains a very open question. Orave Endley, just as the fire energy consumes the physical body, all the energy to move the physical thing through space would be absorbed into the physical being and consume it without a portal teleport space travs impos. Not quite sure what you're saying there. Ishama, are you asking me or anyone else in the chat, do you believe in God? Again, we've already said, well, I've said, I don't have any beliefs. But if you want to say what is God, it is this, yeah, we're in an intelligently designed system, and we ourselves and everything around us is a manifestation. You know, flowers, trees, whatever, nature is kind of there waiting to be appreciated. Yeah? And it's no different to someone being recognized and being appreciated. Yeah? Slide 2 says if you can control one's worldview, every other indoctrination is a piece of cake. Absolutely, yeah. And possibly this is what happened with the moon landings, wasn't it? You know, they pulled it off and it worked, and they're like, oh wow, we can get away with murder. And so they carried on doing it. Sergey, talking of paranoia, have you ever met people who just lied into your eye and looked aside? Yes, absolutely. I see it here with in the for example the night scene here in Thailand, the famous Pat Pong in Bangkok or wherever. Yeah, and of course you see these men come and go to these go-go bars, and they buy the girls drinks, and the girls talk to them, and they give them the eyes, and the guys know that they're being bullshitted, but they allow themselves to fall for it. They allow themselves to be deceived because they want to be deceived. And the girl will look them in the eye and say, I love you, darling. So this is it, I mean, I've seen it. I've seen it. So I'm just, I don't want to talk about myself, but I'm really lucky. I've got a lovely, caring wife, and it wasn't about money. She's Thai, but we met through friends and work, and it's all been lovely. It's been up and down. It's had its dramas, but it's a real relationship. Whereas I've seen so many people have these false relationships, and it's funny because both parties know what they're getting into. They know they are deceiving each other. They know it, but they go along with it. Yeah. So, and it's just to. And the thing is, neither of them end up happy because the woman might be chasing the money, but even if she gets the gold, she doesn't end up being happy, and the guy doesn't end up being happy with his voluptuous young bride. Just, it always ends in tears. Yeah. So, that on Earth, my kid's teacher tells the kids he saw the curve from, oh my God, from an aeroplane. No, that's just lying. Multi-ton, love you long time. Yeah. But that's the thing, the Thais can kind of handle it. They, or the Asian culture in that respect, they make their arrangements for their what would you call it? They maintain the detachment sometimes. They might have a relationship with someone that is purely for kicks, but it's kept like that. Of course, no one wants to be the second wife or the second husband. Jealousy comes, and things don't work out. But it's kind of there's these kind of part of the culture here, which kind of, in some ways, it works out. Go Lions. Maggie asks, does your wife believe FE? Okay, good question, because when she saw me first getting into it, after however many months it was, I told her what I found out, and she laughed and she said, have you only just worked it out? Because they know it's not a globe. They know it's not a spinning globe. And again, they know that the moon is part of the cosmic clock. Yeah? To imagine that the Earth is moving, and this is not because they are anyway backward or not advanced. The Asian cultures are very much advanced. In fact, the Newtons and the Einsteins and the Copernicus and all these people, these Western elite that have given us the heliocentric model, they got all their knowledge from when they came over here to the East. They stole that knowledge, and then when we hear this story about Newton said that we would discover another planet because of gravity, whether is it Uranus or Neptune or whatever, that's a load of rubbish. They just got this knowledge from their travels to the East because they were involved in the East India Company. And actually, it's funny because Newton's coat of arms is a crossbones. So this pirate ship thing with the skull and crossbones, this is a reference to Newton and his ilk, who created an economic bubble that burst in the UK because of their messing around with the economy. Yeah? These guys were just, rogues. So they came over here got all this esoteric knowledge, took it back. They were novices. They didn't know, but they took it back. They took the knowledge from here and then applied it and pretended that they had the knowledge. Yeah? So these stories, he discovered or he predicted that we would discover another planet. It's because he already knew, because he'd been told by other people that had more knowledge than him. Greg too, just put at Nick before. Oh, I see. Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry if I'm missing questions directed at me. If you just put at Phuket word, just start to at PH, and you should get the ability to then select Phuket word and click that, and then you can in the chat box. Again, I do hope to do Hangouts at some point, so hopefully we can. I'm happy to discuss with people with any belief or ideas and have an adult discussion. I don't want to have arguments. I don't want to have fights and things. But I don't want to have a debate either, because as I'm saying, what we see in the sky is a clock. Yeah. And that's all it is. So any models or interpretations of that are a personal choice. But there's, it's ridiculous to assume that it's a globe. Snipe 2, I remember the video that you made years ago where you were laughing because your wife already understood that the Earth is not a ball. That was, yeah. It's still up. I can't remember the title of that video, but yeah, that was maybe I can't remember 3 or 4 months into it. So it would be back in maybe 2015 or 16. I'm not sure. Yeah. Nice one. It's great to know that we've been sharing this journey. Really appreciate that a lot of you are coming along for the ride. It's really nice. Yeah. Greg, Stuart, open sharing of opinions is health. Absolutely. Yeah. In fact, I was having a discussion with someone today about the idea of exploring on a boat. But of course, you just imagine we tried to get together some kind of exploration. It would actually, even if we were all like-minded flat earthers, it would be really difficult to actually get it together so that we didn't end up all fighting on a boat in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, sooner or later we'd be at each other's throats. The vegans would be fighting with the meat eaters. Oh, you can't have chickens on board. You can't have pork. Right, Richard Archer asks, you don't want them, but they're coming, mate. I'll watch your Hangouts. Okay, whatever that means. Ishama, if models are personal choice, then which one do you believe in, or do you just think that we can't know? Yes, this is my whole point. What the observations tell us is that it is open to interpretation, and we can make any model that we desire. But whatever model we decide to illustrate those observations with does not make it our physical reality. And that's the message that the luminaries are telling us, that forget about trying to work out how it all works and redirect our attention on us and the now. Yeah? Don't worry about how it works. It's not for us to know. There's no point. It doesn't get us anywhere. It's a distraction. Yeah? Because it just distracts us from the now, the moment. Because that is all there is. You can't, there's no yesterday, there's no tomorrow. It's just one continuous stream of nowness. Yeah? Richard Archer, arguments. I don't want arguments. I'll stick to my point of view, which I feel I've done my due diligence to arrive at, which again is not one of knowledge, it's an acceptance that we know so little, and there's so little that we can actually know, but we have to realize how much we have believed and detached from those beliefs. So if you want to ask me where the sun is, how far away it is, I don't have an answer for you. I don't have a model for you. I know that it's impossible to tell, but that's the point of this intelligently designed place. It tells us we're not supposed to know. So forget about trying to focus on models. Yeah? Read the description of this video. Yeah, and you see, another thing about this is because let's give you if you imagine like you're given a load of pictures. Imagine I put a picture of an elephant, and you go elephant. I put a picture of a flower, and you go flower. And then I put a picture of a rabbit, you go rabbit. And then a picture of a globe, and you say Earth. Yeah? Now, the elephant, the rabbit, and the flower, these are all labels that we can attach to things that we can really experience. But when we see a globe and we say Earth, what's that? That's an image that's been put in our heads that we've never seen for ourselves, we've never experienced for ourselves, but we have attached this label to it. Yeah? And the thing is, ultimately, what we have to arrive at is looking at something like a flower and not giving it a label, not saying that is a pink chrysanthemum. That's just something that it's called. But what it is a manifestation of its form, its shape, it's you know, you look at the way, you know, it's just the way the universe expresses itself. It is a form of expression, perhaps waiting to be appreciated by someone looking at it. But the moment we attach a label to it, we are being distracted from the truth. The true nature of it is it doesn't have a label. The label is language, it's culture, it implies meaning. It has gone through the filters in our mind and come through as something else that we've applied to it. We've given it a label, when really it doesn't have a label. It's just an expression, a creation of life. Yeah, and so the same applies to the word God. Yeah, it's again, God is really just expression that's coming through us, creation coming through us, everything that has life and everything, and the earth itself. It is creation, it is God, if you like. But again, to apply that label of God becomes an argument, becomes a debate, becomes an image, becomes a translation in someone's mind, goes through our cultural filters. Yeah? So ultimately we have to get to that stage where we look at something and we're not labeling it, which is really, really difficult to do. It's a challenge not to do that. You have, and this is it, you have to deprogram. You have to unlearn what we've learned. You know, Yoda said so much sense. And it's true with, you know, with the way in that last Star Wars, I can't remember the name of the movie, the Star Wars movie, Luke Skywalker goes to burn down the Jedi temple, and the books in the temple start burning. They're thousands of years old, and then he changes his mind, tries to put the fire out. There's Yoda sitting on the rock, laughing, because Yoda knows that the books don't matter, because the knowledge, the Force, is just there within us when we connect to it, when we observe, when we allow ourselves not to label, not to use language, not to apply our filters. Yeah. So it's really quite clever analogy that Yoda's there laughing as the Jedi temple burns down, and Luke's running around thinking that he's made a terrible mistake by setting the temple on fire. But it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Maggie, for metaphysical musing, fair enough, but maths and science are always improving. But there's a limit, maths is math. Maths is a description of physics, and maths can be used, is a language. So language can be used to convey facts, yes, and it can be used to tell fairy tales, yeah? So mathematics is a language to describe physics, and it's fine, it works, it's all good, and we make things work with mathematics, we communicate with mathematics. But when it comes to using mathematics to, again, convert perspective of the subjective observation into an objective curve of the earth, that is manipulation of mathematics. That's fairy tales being told in the language of mathematics. Yeah? Got to use your discernment here. So the flat earther doesn't deny mathematics, it has its uses. But we also understand that it can be manipulated to have us believe something that isn't true, to tell a story. Ishamai, but don't you want to know where we live? I would consider that a pretty human urge to find out where we are, no matter if reality... Of course, we all want to know. We all have these questions, and this is why it is comforting to feel that we have these answers by saying, oh, the sun's 93 million miles away, and Jupiter is this, and the Earth is that, and the moon arrived 4.5 billion years ago. And it was, it's comforting to have those answers, but it means nothing. Of course. But this is the thing. Yes, we have these, but we have these questions and desire to acquire this knowledge. But we also have to realize that there is a limit. And when we surrender to that and accept that there's a limit to our knowledge, and perhaps it is meant to be that way so that we can have the experience of the now. Forget trying to work out the beginnings of the universe, because as far as we're concerned, there isn't a beginning and there isn't an end. It's just an endless cycle of infinity. But again, we cannot define infinity, so forget about it. You can't answer the question. It's pointless. So you bring yourself back to the now, the experience of the journey of discovery, not the destination. Forget about where the destination is. Experience the journey, and you can only have that experience in the now. You can't be worried about where the destination is, or when you're going to get there, or when it started. It's pointless. And this is the difficulty we have, because we are given numbers, we are given distances, we are given timelines, we are given all these so-called facts. And this is why people say, oh, but you have to have an alternative. No, you don't. You don't have to have an alternative. We make the observations, we tell the time, and that's it. Yeah? Racerephy, it is not necessary that hypotheses should be true or even probable. It is sufficient that they lead to the results of calculations which agree with calculations. Copernicus, this is the problem. Yeah, again, I kind of went through that in my last vid. Yeah, the scientific method, we get this hypothesis that, oh, the Earth's spherical mass creates gravity, and I can prove this by getting measurable results when I drop something through the air. So this proves the hypothesis, and it would appear that we stuck to the scientific method. When no. Invite me in Phuket. Anyone's welcome to come to Phuket. You look me up. Is the scientist still having trouble understanding? Too much echo. Really? I'm sorry about that. I don't know why it is. I've only got... there was a problem with the echo last time, and I seemed to work it out, or I seemed to find out what the problem was. So, yeah. Anyway, it's 2 a.m. for me. And yeah, Brenda or whoever, Brenda von Aschen, anyone can come to Phuket. If anyone's coming, look me up. So okay, I'm gonna kind of wind this up now. So really appreciate everyone coming along. Thanks for sharing. Thanks to everyone in chat. I'm really sorry if guys, people have only just seen you. Reality is merely current perspective, folks. Yeah. So. Oh no, you mean on a you on a hangout? Possibly. We'll work it out when I do a hangout. I'll send out emails, and we'll see. Or people have to email me, and we'll work it out. Yeah. Bye, Gigantor. Yeah. Doesn't bother me. People can call. I've been called names for my tallness since I was a kid, so I'm used to that playground talk. Yeah. It's just, the sooner people can get past the name calling, the better. And I would welcome adult discussion. Yeah. From anyone. Anyone who's called me out and, done the name calling. I don't care. I'm happy to have a constructive conversation with you anytime. Anyone of any level of genius, occupation. I don't care. We're all people. We're all fallible. Yeah. So that's fine by me. All right. So thank you very much. And I'm gonna end this stream now, and really appreciate you coming along. Have yourselves a great weekend, and hopefully we'll get some more information out there soon about the gnome experiment. Should be fun. So thank you very much, everyone, and have yourselves a great weekend. All right. Cheers for now.